So I've had people for the last 2 to 3 weeks. And then, of course, in other situations in the past, I've had people come up to me and they say, Johnny, what was it like? Another would say, what was your situation when you was my age? Now, I know some of them be like, well, you're talking like you're much older than us. Well, some of you, I probably am. Being 41 years old, I guess that doesn't make me young, but it doesn't make me old, right? As they say, we're only as old as we feel we are. And I don't feel too old. But I wanted to go ahead and share this video with you. I wanted to share my story with you. Hopefully I don't drag this on too long. And I'll try to take you from being young to where I am now. What do they call that? Round it up in a nutshell. So that's what we'll do. Hopefully my voice stays good. And, I don't sound like crapola. Anyways, here I am. Thank you guys for being subscribed to the channel, Mentorship Support. It's all about helping each other, being there for each other, doing what I can to share stories and videos to motivate other people and to help people get through situations and not make the same mistakes that I made. For that said, if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and tap on the subscribe button. Be sure to click on the little bell to set your notifications so that you are notified each and every single time that we publish a video here. If you don't mind, give us a thumbs up if you would, just to show your appreciation to the channel or to the video. And for that said, let's go ahead and get started. I apologize about the sniffling, but it's that time of year. When I was born visually impaired. I've been visually impaired my entire life. I can say that when I was younger, my vision was a little better than what it is today. And as you all might know, that as you get older, your vision can definitely decrease. It doesn't get better the older you get. The older you get, the worse your eyes can get. And of course, with technology today, there's a lot of different surgeries out there. And I'm going to talk about that sometime. It's going to be interesting for you guys to hear what I got to say about a surgery that I could possibly do, but that's for another time. I started out in public school. Went to kindergarten in public school, went to first grade public school, second grade public school, I believe maybe even third grade public school. I was fortunate because the school that I was at, the public school, they had a teacher that worked with students that were, had different types of disabilities and learning disabilities and so on. So it was one class with several different types of students. One might have been in a wheelchair, another one had a type of learning curve, whatever the case might be. So I was fortunate for that because the teacher was able to work with me pretty good. Now in kindergarten, before I got with that teacher, I was in a public school for I think a year, and they realized we can't do nothing for this guy. We can't do anything. He can't see good enough to do this stuff. So that's when they ended up pointing me to another school that was still a public school. But But that only lasted a few years, and then I went to a blind school. That went good, but it didn't. The reason it didn't was because I did not accept who I was for a very long time. Anything about me being blind was something I didn't want to hear. I didn't want to talk about it, and I didn't want to think about it. At 12, 13 years old, I was out partying, drinking, smoking, fighting, being rebellious, out of control, really. I didn't go out and, rob any banks or anything like that, but I was just had it in my mind that I was no different than any other sighted person. I could do everything they could do. And that's pretty much the way I had it in my mind was, okay, I can play basketball. I can play baseball. I can drive, right? I can drive. When I was 16, I was driving, but I shouldn't have been driving. It was a very reckless and very irresponsible thing for me to have done. Fortunately, no one got hurt. I didn't get hurt. Nobody got hurt. I was in and out of school because of my attitude, because of fighting, not accepting who I was. So I went through all these different situations, all the way up to the age of 21, 22 years old. I'd actually dropped out of school too. I had to go back and get my diploma, which I did. But if you're visually impaired, let me warn you now. Don't drop out of school. If you've got the help, keep it. Because when you got to go back and do it later, it's going to be much harder. And you should also accept who you are. Accept who you are as in your physical appearance. So if you've got a disability, accept it. Because there's nothing that you're going to be able to do to change that. Unless they've got a cure for it, you'll never change it. And it's cold, hard facts. Sometimes them hard facts, people don't want to hear. I get it. It was when I got my ex-wife pregnant, was when I decided it was time for me to start being mature. Get your act together, Johnny. You got a kid that's coming into the world. And you don't want that kid going down the same road you did. And I didn't. I didn't want that. Sorry about that. I did not want that. So I finally started to accept who I was. And I said, you know what? I'm visually impaired. And if people don't like that, that's too bad. If they want to judge me, let them judge me. Now, don't get me wrong. I still had those days where, I was kind of still a little angry and upset. And it's just something that we deal with no matter who we are. We have our moments, just like anybody else. And to be honest, I've been going through life for a very long time with people judging and assuming, well, he's disabled. He can't do this, can't do that, which is very, very untrue. But now it's different because, as a young adult, I became very mature, but as of today, I believe I'm even more mature and more prepared. And it's something I always tell people, prepare yourself for more than one outcome in life. I know it sounds silly to tell someone to prepare for bad situations, but it's not that bad, really, because when you're prepared for it, you're able to deal with it and resolve the problem. If you're not prepared, you're not able to deal with it, and you're not able to resolve the problem, and you catch yourself running in a circle. I started doing my goal setting 4 years ago, as of today, 4 years ago. As a matter of fact, the date's coming up on the day, the actual date that I started goal setting. And it's made a big difference in my life, but we're not going to get into that today. But that's my story in a nutshell. There's a lot that is left out that I could talk about more, and we'll see how that works out. But if you are disabled, don't hate yourself for it. Because even those that might not have a disability, I'm here to tell you right now, everybody out there, they have flaws and they have things about them just like us. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Guys, I appreciate every one of you. I want to thank you again for being here. Give a shout out to all my friends in college. I've been fortunate and I've met some really good people. Most recently, I've met a really good friend that I'm very fortunate to have in my life. And I'm thankful for that. All these good things have happened though, guys, because of me creating change and goal setting and to do better and to become successful. I want you to think about that. Because the next video, I'm going to get back into goal setting. I'm going to talk about it again and again and again. I love all you guys very much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please leave your comments down below. Be sure to give us a thumbs up if you will. If you got questions, please feel free to ask. I don't mind talking about my disability. So it's up to you. If you got questions, you know what to do.